Good morning, good afternoon, greetings, fellow Earthlings. um, yeah, I just wanted to ask everybody, since this is, since this is, labeled, Independence Day, how independent do you feel? How free do you feel? Do you feel as though we've gained or necessarily lost from where we were 10 years ago, if we're any more freer than we were 20 years ago, if we're any more freer than we were 200 years ago. And again, I do not want people to think I'm talking about darker skinned people. No, this is not about, like, me as a black male, do I feel any freer? No, this is about the people of this nation. Do you feel free? That's a hard question to answer. Do you feel free? Especially, with a lot of the new acts and legislation that's been floating around out there, that's making it real difficult for a person to consider themselves free, if you get what I mean. For instance, we could talk a little bit about the Patriot Act, which again, most people that's watching this, I don't know if they know about it or they don't, or if they care to know about it, care to listen to it. But you know, that alone took away most of your civil liberties once that was signed into effect, because they could literally, pick you up off the street, label you a terrorist, and integrate you. If I pronounce that right, if I did not, apologize. They could, keep you for, as long as they pretty much want to, um, and then when they, find you guilty, then they eventually, take you and, put you through the whole legal process after they done, probably, in my eyes, tortured you and did whatever else they wanted to, without your consent. Which again, do you ever really get your consent? Huh? But with that, it's a lot of commotion talking about the national ID coming out. It's you know, it's a lot of biological warfare going on, which in some people's eyes is considered World War III. Um, More so because it was developed after World War II, by the same people that played a part in unleashing uh, the atomic bomb, if I may. The same people that made the atomic bomb, or the same groups that created that or thought that was a positive thing, were the same people that create pesticides, which they put on foods, that do, as we know today, damage on you, not just those pests. So you know, it that and I was watching this one movie. I tell everybody to watch it. It's this it's on Google Video. It's called HIV equals AIDS, fact or fraud. Now, when I first read that, I was like, wow, um, this is some wow. Since I was little, I've known yes, that's a wedding ring. Yeah. Anyway, since I was little, I've always known HIV to equals AIDS, and when it's all said and done, after you watch this video, you can't help but start asking questions like, like, is people really getting rich off of this? Is people being getting rich off of deceiving the people, letting the people's fear control them? Um, is that what's going on right now? Is that what's popping? Is that what's hot in the streets? Is that what's really good? You know what I mean? So it just, it make me, it definitely woke me up, along with a movie called The Corporation, um, you know, um, the Bush Family Fortunes, a lot of different movies I've seen in the last couple months, man. Cause I just like it was about March 5th, y'all. I just turned my switch on. I went from, as they say, sleep to awoke, man, and man, I couldn't fight it no more. I couldn't fight what was going on, you know, and it broke my heart to find out a lot of things. But again, I wanted to ask people and ask people. I like to pronunciate. My diction's got to be tight, but um, but you know, put it out there. Do people feel free right now, man? With all the stuff that's going on right now, can you honestly feel independent? Can you feel independent from United Kingdom, Great Britain, the Queen, if I may? Especially with some of my research, I've come to find out we might still be, or we, let me take that back. The United States might still be in conjunction with Great Britain, especially after the Revolutionary War, where they used that war to make the United States in debt to them, on in some way. And I tell a lot of people this: credit and debt is a form of enslavement. I'm sorry. You work for them. They own you. You know, uh, you look at it this way. The only reason people don't look at it as in a negative fashion is because you aren't necessarily, in most situations, you aren't required to pay all of this at once. In my personal opinion, I think that you should pay something, directly out of your pocket. Like, if I don't have it, I need to save till I get it. I need to put it on layaway. I need to do something. But nowadays, we in a society where people live outside of their means, and especially in the Western Hemisphere, especially where we live outside of our means. Um, you know, we get things that we really don't need, but through advertisement, pumped by several and different corporations, we are fed to believe that we need these things. We must have them. We must put ourselves in unbalanced scenarios or situations to acquire them. And you know, with all that piling up, because again, I don't, I when my videos go, I normally just let it flow. You know, I'm a my brain works is kind of scrambled a little bit. I kind of think of things while I'm going. So excuse me if I touch on a lot of things, but again, I always try to increase the conversation, the comments, the video responses, get them going. So, um, you know, let's try to get them going. So I was about to touch on another little subject about how you feel free uh, on this Independence Day. Actually, it's 2 days late. As most historians will tell you, July 2nd was actually the day John Hancock and another individual, Hancock, rather, signed the, um, the Declaration of Independence. And it wasn't until the 4th when they ratified it. And then it wasn't until a couple weeks later when people actually signed it. So it was initially scribbled up in July 2nd, and they didn't recognize till 1777 on July 3rd. Before that moment, nobody really thought about celebrating it. And it was already a day late, so they just started on the 4th, and ever since then it's been history. I know it sounds like a useless fact, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. But